Hello everybody of YouTube, I'm John the Purple Man, and this is my return video. This is to all you guys in the future because I'm recording this early and by the way, happy Thanksgiving because I'm recording this on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all you in the future. Today's game is a game called Murder on the Dis-Orient Express. Let us go to it. This is the game. It is by Shay Hayes and so on. But guys, I just want to tell you guys, I hope you guys made a great game because I'm looking forward to this game. So let's begin. Your name is Robert Carpenter. The year is 1906. You're on a long-distance train from Paris to Istanbul. Ooh, the Orient Express. Or something along those lines. Dis-Orient is, it says. Okay. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you are woken by a piercing shriek from the carriage head. You roll out of bed and throw on some clothes. Still only half awake, you shuffle up to the first-class carriage. Several people are clustered in the hallway, murmuring anxiously. You want to know what happened, you ask? The weeping young woman at the center of the crowd, or the older man in a fancy suit? The older woman in an elegant dress, the young man in an extravagant jacket, young man in plain clothing, the bearded man with a book, the baggage boy, the waitress, or the chef? I think I would ask at the one at the center. Olivia Magnus. My father's dead. Somebody murdered him. Oh my God. Jeffrey Charles Chamberlain, Sr. A business partner of mine has been found dead in his room. Catherine, this one's business partner dead. You're such a nice man. Ooh, my. Junior, my father's business partner has died. His daughter thinks he was murdered, but I think the old bastard gave out. Plain clothing. Thomas Carter, some wealthy businessman, is dead. Some people think he was murdered. Klaus Metz, some filthy capitalist pig. Oh my gosh, that's sad. That's not right, guy. John Smith, he's dead. Alice Christie, no sign of struggle, no visible wounds, how very mysterious. The chef? Arthur Darcy, one of our wealthiest passengers has been found dead. What a tragic turn of events. Well, there was something flashy about this whole situation. They decided to talk to the passengers and staff to get the whole story. The train will arrive at the next station at precisely 6 a.m. You have until then to learn what you can. You may move freely between the carriages. About 15 minutes will pass any time you talk to someone. Let's investigate. The time is 2:15 a.m. You're in the first class carriage. This is the Magnus family's room, where William J. Magnus III lies dead. Olivia Magnus is here. Train at the engine, the kitchen, and that. Okay. Let's talk to her. Who's there? Oh, Robert, don't you know how to knock? My apologies, Olivia. I came to offer her my deepest condolences. Thank you. Now, there is something I can help you with. Yes, if you do not mind, I would like to ask you a few questions. I have a detective hobby, you see, and you have made it sound like your father was murdered. Oh, did I? I've no idea what I said. I was in a state of shock. Is that so? Could you tell me where you were before your father's death? Just what are you suggesting? How awful. I had nothing to do with any of this. Why would I want my own father dead, my own flesh and blood? Do you have any suspicious... Do you have any suspicions then? What about this crude young man? Who, Jeffrey Chamberlain? As much as I would love to see him arrested for murder, it couldn't have been him. You see, I was in the reception carriage from 10:30 to 2. I was playing blackjack with the Chamberlains until midnight. The four of you playing blackjack? I can hardly believe it. Actually, it was just the three of us. Mrs. Chamberlain actually absolutely detests the game, so she left the room at about 11:30. How suspicious. Oh, she's not nearly as suspicious as that baggage boy John Smith. You see, I followed him to the recreation room. I fear he may have overheard some unpleasant matters. Anyway, he carries himself in such a suspicious manner. Gentlemen, in fact, does that not strike you as odd? That does seem rather strange. If you have any other suspicions, please let me know. Of course, you know, Robert, it's funny. I know my father died just a few minutes ago. It was like years since I last saw him alive. What do you mean? Well, when I was younger, his business was much smaller. The wealthy family we became. Then the business grew and it absorbed him. He lived and died for his business. I hardly seem to see him anymore. Sorry to hear that. He does. Take this trip, for instance. You may think that we're headed to Istanbul for holiday, but really it's for business. He and the Chamberlains had some foreign negotiations to settle. William Magnus took this Going on a business trip? Yes, I'm just glad Thomas managed to secure a room on the train, despite all of Father's efforts to keep him off. What was that? Oh, nothing important. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must have a few words with him. Finished. Excellent. Okay.
I'll see if I can't get up on him for various times. And he would probably help you out. Well, I mean, and we're not able to, like, grab him.
Go in first class carriage.
I just can't. I'm not gonna go through it.
At first class.
No, not you. No, I know.
Alright. Alright.
The school system here does not like Larry. I know.
The second class then. Time is... Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a video, but oh well. This is Thomas literature, okay. Back to second class. And down to Klaus's room now. Ooh, hello. Okay. Catherine, wish you met at that place. What is it? How long have you been sleeping? Can't you like my big dirty in Klaus's room? This is special for me. Have you seen as you do realize? Some man who's keep on murder for his ideals. You're watching film. Have you now? I'd like to hear the full story. If it pleases you, I was dining until 11 with my husband and we headed to the recreation room, the beginning of Olivia, so I'd like to give 40 weeks. What I mean, keep a nice food for that red devil.
Yeah, Larry does not take their crap.
Oh, you are adult. You believe Magnus was murdered. You are just like my son. Back. I'm not sure if that was a yes or no. Oh, it must have been about half-past 1 when I passed by the house. So wide open and he was doing well. Wasting precious fresh air. Wow. That's funny, just wasting precious air. Wow. Is that the only time you saw him? Wow. Oh no, you never see those kind of people only once. Saw him in the dining carriage at midnight, finishing yet another drink. As soon as I saw it, he saw me. Back to his room. I'm supposed to just exist after all. See about that. Say, Catherine, you're not hiding anything, are you? Oh, what do you mean? Of course I have my secrets, but if it helps, clear my name from your list of suspects. Oh, sure, alright. In that case, I will be blunt. Now, I'm sorry. This comes across as rude, but... have you put on some weight in the last few hours? I'm sorry, did you really just say that? You're just like this. Get out.
Yeah, well, Larry...
It could have gone better. It must have just been my imagination. Well, how rude of the guy, really? Come on, dude. Keep doing it. Ooh, excellent. Klaus. Robert, my old friend, Robert. How have you been? Let me try doing a better Russian. Robert, my old friend, Robert. How have you been, buddy? I just what are you doing in my blasted room at this time of night? Klaus, have you had too much to drink? I see you finished an entire bottle of wine. Wine? Wine is for the bourgeois. I don't know where this bottle came from. I know you had too much to drink, but how did you manage to afford an entire bottle of this wine? You capitalist swine! You're accusing me of stealing, are you? Typical of your class. Sure, go on, continue exploiting that defenseless proletariat. I'll have you know that I've gone nowhere near that kitchen after I closed. No? Then where were you? I was in my room at midnight. There's no crime, is it? But apparently it is, because I thought I could finally get some shut-eye. Then that Thomas fellow started shouting next door. Please, tell me more. Was there anybody?
I'm not saying
Shouting at 1 in the morning. What has the world come to? This is just like capitalism. Everybody shouts at each other and nobody's heard. That was a
Everything
lady
is cool and it's not my
I
fault.
really got
I don't
him
know
riled
stuff
up.
I don't
Please,
know
Club,
because
compose yourself. Did you make out any words?
they
Something
don't
about
quite
that baggage
understand.
or dust in the Chamberlain room at 11:30, and then something about not having anything to do with blackmail now. I found it funny because the lady asked Thomas if he was getting blackmail thoughts, and she said something about reimbursement. It's all par for the course. Big capitalism. Oh, here he goes again. I better slip out of here while I still
Either you do
can.
it their way or you can find it.
And finished with Mr. Klaus. So it wasn't him then. Great. Well, let's see. Let's see. Interesting. Let's get to the recreation room. Nobody there, and it's only 3. Baggage? Ooh, Arthur Darcy the chef. I'll talk to him. Listen in. John Smith, are you there? What do you need? I agreed to help Alice search for evidence in her little mystery. She's convinced that Mr. Magnus was murdered. Those books are hers, no doubt. So what, you're questioning me? Yes, indeed. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Nothing besides your chat with Olivia. Right. I haven't been able to get that out of my mind. I'm afraid something terrible is about to happen. When was that? About 12:30. I was just passing through the recreation carriage heading to bed. Yeah, those Chamberlain fellows seemed to get on her nerves, and she had quite the disagreement with her father. Did she now? When was this? At about 10 or a quarter after 10. You and Alice must have been serving dinner. That we were. The old man threatened to change his will, you know. Said that he was adopting Olivia if she married Carter. That's grounds for murder if I ever heard it. What happened then? She followed me to the recreation carriage at 10:30, or I had just finished dusting. Really, John Smith? I doubt it. I'll just report this information to Alice post haste. Thank you, John. You're welcome. Arthur Darcy, I just have one last question. Why do you always stay in front of the bed luggage? I hope you know that you're welcome to sit. ... Thank you, but no thank you. We don't want anybody sneaking off with the luggage now, do we? I suppose not, but there could be important evidence in those bags. Look at Thomas Carter's bag, for instance. That bulge looks surprisingly knife-like. Ooh, maybe he's the murderer. I'm sure it's just your imagination. Now, didn't you say something about reporting information to Alice post-haste? Right, I must be going. Goodbye, John. Goodbye. And good riddance. Ooh, John Smith the murderer. Hello, John. I can't believe it. I didn't have to take this blasted job after all.
Okay, bud.
Beat to the
Next time when I do this,
must have
I
been
need
that
books
business
I
partner.
need books
But
to
how
back
could
up.
he kill old
Okay.
Magnus?
I'll pick you back
Oh, he's
up.
talking to himself again. Perhaps I
You
should
sit
continue
so I
listening.
can pee.
That
Hey.
should have followed his witness the entire night. He'd have the motive, certainly, but not the means.
You're
That
okay.
could have been
I
stabbed.
need to go pee.
Every second past 1:30. Myself heard Magnus live in the room. If she truly did find or place in the kitchen, one could have been poisoned beforehand. And then there's that Robert fellow. He claims he stayed in his room after 11. Nobody does. Even Catherine was outside in her room. But staying in her room. Well, it will be interesting to hear what Alice has to say. Also, let's see who shows up for her grand reveal. Meow? Yeah. That's what I did on the train. That's my... I'm sorry, I heard the murder mumble, and I couldn't help but listening. Well, look, put it this way. These are this game for the professionals, kid. What do you mean? I mean that. I'm a detective in this class. I've been watching those Magnus and Children calls for a great deal of time now. They run a shady business, they do. Can't amass that much wealth through legitimate methods. They import drugs and poisons, I think. But often our relations seem to be so tense with them this business. It does? I mean, yes, it does. Alice Christie had even told me that Magnus waited to have dinner until the Chamberlains had left the dining carriage. That must have been at what, 11? I hope you're keeping track of all those times, kid. Didn't you say something about Alice having some sort of grand reveal? Yeah, 3:45 in the recreation carriage, but there will be suspicions. Hey, she thinks she has everything all figured out. One amateur. Well, thank you, John, or whatever your true name is. I must be going now. Yeah, stay out of the trouble, will ya? Heh, he's so gullible. Well, back to Rick.
Okay, you gonna let me play a little bit, bud? You gonna let me play? Or do you wanna play with me? Wanna play with me?
The first
You wanna play with me?
class.
Hey, look.
Dining.
Yeah.
Nope, I already spoke to him. Kitchen.
Okay, no, I don't.
Hmm.
Okay, except.
I need to talk to that chef.
And then, I'm gonna ring like this. You turn it around.
Hmm. Get to the recreation because that's where the grand rule is going to be.
I think I should even get put
Wait
into
15 minutes.
battle with that little stupid ghost.
In the recreation carriage, this is where Professors King, Louis Magnus is here, Geoffrey Charles Chamberlain. Senior is here, Catherine Chamberlain is here, Arthur Darcy, the chef,
What
Miss
just
Christie, the waitress, John Smith, the baggage. Excellent.
did you just...
Back into the conversation and prepare to find out what happens. Let's listen in.
Hello?
Alice Christie. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I realize that it has been a long day for us all, so I will cut to the chase. You know who murdered my father? Louis Magnus. Alice Christie. Why, of course, dear. They are among us as we speak.
I think the battery died.
I don't like this, dear. To think that one of us could be a killer.
Hold on. Sorry.
There, my dear Alice. Assuming Mr. Magnus was murdered, what makes you think the killer is in this very room?
I'm glad you asked. After all, your son Thomas Carter and Klaus Metz are elsewhere, are they not? But think of it this way. It would be foolish for the true murderer to turn down a hearing such as this. Not only do they miss out on what is currently known, but they also cast unnecessary suspicion upon themselves, no? The murderer is here, and their identity is revealed by 3 points. Dun.
I thought you were going to cut to the chase. You're wasting precious minutes.
Point 1. The murderer was close to the deceased. At 11. William Magnus ordered a bottle of wine that I delivered at precisely 11:45. The wine he ordered was a bottle of Sebastiani Fine's Italian Pinot Grigio, our finest and our most expensive wine on the train.
So how did
Yeah, but so what? William Magnus was a wealthy man. Our company is one of the largest on this side of the Atlantic. I can vouch for that.
Ah, but wait for point 2. When I delivered the wine, Magnus appeared to be alone, but I couldn't help but feel there was something else in the room. The room had a sort of tense atmosphere to it, an atmosphere of blackmail. Oh, great. How we're going off of your intuition. How do we know that you're not the murderer?
Please, let us hear point 2.
While investigating the Magnus room, I stumbled upon a note. See, you had better pay up now, or you won't make it off this train alive. Now, when I first saw this note, I figured it was addressed to Mr. Magnus. After all, he's the only man that won't be making it off this train alive. But upon further investigation, I realized that Magnus is the only passenger with stationery on the train.
Are you suggesting that Magnus was blackmailing somebody else on this train?
Exactly, which would be a strong motive for murder.
C could be anybody, though. It could stand for Chamberlain, Carter, Carpenter, Christie.
My thoughts exactly. Point 3C seems to throw a great deal of suspicion around. Half of the people on this train have a last name to begin with the letter C, which is exactly why this note must have been fabricated after the deed was done. We're dealing with a murderous mastermind. But the gig is up. The murderer made one all-important mistake. They did not expect the intellect of Alice Christie. Did you, Olivia Magnus? Could everybody stop staring at me like that? Tell me, Alice, why would I want to kill my very own father? Why, it's all so obvious. Olivia, you have not one, but two motives. That's twice the reason to kill your father than anybody else in this room. First, there was the money. Your father was a wealthy man, and as John Smith so kindly reported to me, your father threatened to change his will. That is correct. I was in the chamberlain room until 10:30, and was unfortunate enough to overhear your conversation. He threatened to change his will if you married Thomas Carter instead of the chamberlain's son. Which brings me to the second motive, your undying love for Thomas Carter. That is all such poppycock. Just look at how much you have upset the young woman. Some things, Alice, are better left unsaid. I didn't murder my father. Why would I? Sure, he was tough to live with at times, but I loved my father. This is not the reaction I expected to hear. Alice, I for one think that you have been spouting under nonsense. You should be ashamed of yourself, attacking poor Olivia like that. I don't care who she has feelings for. She deserves better than to be attacked like that. Yeah, and your theory sounds pretty full of holes. I, for one, know that Olivia Magnus was in the recreation carriage from 10:30 to nearly 1 in the morning. Fine! I'll find a piece of evidence so decisive you're all apologists for criticizing my theory. Come, Arthur, we have some work to do. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. That was an absolute balderdash. I am so very sorry you had to listen to that rubbish. Olivia? Yes, if that woman ever thinks about making it more of an I'll... Please, my dear, calm yourself. Alice's just doing the best she can in place of the police. But what she said about that note, it's so horrible. Why would my father blackmail anybody? He was already such a rich man. I was under the impression that Alice made the note herself. It seems like something straight out of one of those murder mystery novels she's always going on about. Alas, I can assume that the note is legitimate. I stumbled upon it at about 10 and immediately assumed that it was addressed to Thomas Carter. After all, he is in a tremendous amount of debt, despite his academic achievement and scholarships. But when we met at 1, he assured me again and again that he was not receiving or sending any threats. Have you ever considered, Olivia, that Thomas may be addicted to gambling? Oh, no. I can never picture Thomas falling so low. You better believe it. My brother was the same. An ambitious and well-versed man, but not without his faults. That's why he married some Amy Christie, who had plenty of money for him to gamble away. Wait, I just realized your last name begins with C as well. The blackmail letter could have been addressed to you. Tell me, Olivia, why would Magnus blackmail his very own business partner? Yes, don't be foolish, dear. He would have nothing to gain, with the driving force of the company. Plus, we still don't know if the C even stands for our name. Who's to say that this note is not, say, the third in a series of blackmail letters? I suppose you're right. The C could mean just about anything. Now you're getting it. You must not fret about such matters, dear. It's bad for your health. Your mother would have hated to see you like this. I can't help but be alert with the killer always. I assure you, Olivia, there's nothing to worry about. As long as we stick together, it was Magnus' isolation that was his downfall. The poor old sport. Oh my, look at the time. Now, Olivia, if you will excuse us, we must be going. So much for sticking together. Hang on, guys. It's like, I will be right back. I gotta pick up my computer. I'm starting to get to the point I can't stay on the floor right here. Just want to climb up here real quick.
and switch that up here. Hang on, guys. I'm getting here. There we go. Sorry, guys. I can't stand sitting like that anymore. Let's see. Let's into the baggage again and try again. Nothing here. Good. Back to second class. See who's all here. Nobody to talk to. First class. Let's see. Let's listen to this. Olivia, we have to talk. Olivia, come here. This instant. Oh, I'll make you wish you had never been born. I'm sorry, Jeffrey, but Olivia is in the recreation carriage. God, almost forgot about you and your repulsiveness. I wish you would die instead of old Magnus. Don't worry, Jeffrey. I'll forget you ever said anything. Your very presence is an insult to me. And wait, what's that behind your back? What? Wait, just one moment. It's an empty wine bottle. You and Olivia were having some time together, huh? If you even think about going near her again, You'll what? You don't intimidate me. You're not interested in a creep like you. She's not interested in a creep like you. Now scurry off like the roach you are. I challenge you to a duel. Ha, good one, Jeffrey. We don't have pistols or sabers or anything else we could use to fight a duel. Oh yes, we do. My father has a set of dueling pistols in his room. I'll bring them here straight away. My word, you're serious. Of course. I'm Emma. You really offended me, and I'm not without honor, you dog. Why so much commotion? I'm trying to get some peace and quiet. Perfect. Here's our judge. Now, how many pieces shall we settle on? One? Okay, that's enough, you two. I wholeheartedly agree. I've seen enough bloodshed and drama for one day. Come back here. Have you no honor? Apparently no, but I do have Olivia. You'll regret this someday. This isn't over, Carter. You bloody dog. Thomas Carter and GCC Jr. are still fierce at each other, but at least you took them out of it before they got out. Jeffrey Chamberlain Sr.'s old dueling pistols. You may well have saved one of their lives. You watched them for an extra 15 minutes to make sure they don't try it again. Disaster averted, all right. Phew. Hallelujah. Let's enter Magnus's room and find out. Interesting. This is getting more interesting, people. I'm wondering. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm getting curious. Olivia in class and Arthur's here. Excellent. Arthur, get me another drink. Wait, what? Another one? It's nearly 5 in the morning. Hey, what's the big idea? I'm not paying you to talk to me, you capitalist swine. Oh, Klaus, always up at bed at the strangest hours. You were even in here having a drink when I left for bed at midnight. Was he really? Yes, he must have been waiting for your father and Thomas Carter to leave the dining carriage. I believe they left at about 11:30. What a bloody loud scene that was. Hey, you, less talk, more drink. You're getting on my nerves again. What's taking so long? Alright. Please, sir, lower your voice. I will be back in a moment. Magnus, ... Well, what are you looking at, huh? Well, it's just, I haven't had the chance to ask you. Asking me what? If I'm a communist? The answer is yes, you capitalist lapdog. I'm proud to represent the poor and the exploited. No, I wanted to ask you, was it you who killed my father? Now look at me in the eye. If I would have killed that heartless businessman, I would have been happy to turn myself in. I would have been a hero, a role model for the entire working class. Hear me now, the workers shall rise. I don't understand, was that a yes or a no? Your status, your money, your top hats, your gold, your property, your plans, your games, your words, your contacts, your faces, they're all useless. The workers shall rise. What on earth is he shouting about now, Olivia? Are you alright? Has there been another murder? You, yes, I'm talking to you. You and the rest of that bourgeoisie. Your time is up. I'm coming for you, you scoundrel. Eek, get this peasant man away from me. Peasant? Peasant? I'll show you, peasant. Oh dear. And one glass of where's Klaus gone? Mad. Mad's right. I see. I wonder how this man ever managed to buy a train ticket in the first place. I just don't get it. If Thomas didn't kill my father and that Klaus fellow didn't, then who could it have been? What was that? Oh, nothing. I like a glass of Sebastiani's fine Italian Pinot Grigio, if you please. I'm afraid the last bottle of Sebastiani's was stolen. Excuse me, the news at it about 4. It's been stolen sometime after I closed the kitchen. Alright, in that case, I should be going. Good night, and do let me know if you see the missing bottle. Oh my. Dear goodness. Ooh boy, this is getting very more interesting. Oh my. Alice Christie. Oh, Robert, what perfect time. I was just about to search through your suitcase. Excuse me, since when did you have the authority to look through Pastor's luggage? Robert, this is a case of murder. I just know it, and I will stop at nothing to figure out who did it. Fair enough. What have you found? You wouldn't believe me if I told you earlier. You thought you saw a familiar shape in Thomas' his bag. Channel John Smith at 3, and voila, a knife. Is it from the kitchen? Please so. Shady Steve's is an American cutlery corporation who generally buys silverware and equipment made in Britain. But what does a knife have to do with Magnus's death? Signs of a struggle, nor any obvious wounds. True, though you must that the criminals always come with a backup plan. This casts some suspicion on Thomas, unless somebody is trying to frame him. So true. Well, Robert, bag checks out, though I must say you need to purchase more up-to-date newspapers now next. I've never been one for reading the news. I just keep an old newspaper around so I can pretend to be busy. Ha! So true. I've done that a few times. Just not as much. Say, Robert, you didn't happen to change your name from Thaddeus Saxon, did you? No. Why? Is this person a criminal in the news? No, this bag belongs to them. It would seem we have a secret passenger on the train. I'm curious, what is in the bag? A bunch of boring, dry beef taco, some cigars, and avocados? Unusual. Nay, Thaddeus Saxon. It sounds so familiar. Robert, I am afraid I must leave you to do another investigation sweeping the magnus from times of years. So I'll let you know if I hear anything interesting. Okay, so it's not her. Smith again. Red Road. No one else has left here this long. This long man is not looking for me. But Tom, I have nothing better to do this morning. It was not my intention to listen in, though I did hear you say that something was missing. It's that other... It's, nothing. It was the same thing. Your strong kiss yourself, John. Tell me, what is it that you thought you saw? Fine, I thought I saw a knife in Thomas's bag. Seriously, why didn't you bring this to our attention earlier? Well, I saw it before then. So I thought nothing of it. You'll see Tom's got a part of the suitcase at 1 in the morning. He used to place the knife in his bag while I had my back turned. Anyway, when I learned that Magnus had invisible ones, I figured the knife would have known me from the truth, but now I have my suspicions. Go on. You are such a nice kid, you know. You must know, I think the knife must have been a backup plan, and if it hadn't been snatched by that damn murder mystery of obsessed waitress, I would have Tom Carter pinned down for murder. Unless somebody's trying to frame him, again, or frame. Did you say something? No, just thinking out loud now, well, excuse me. Oh, he's gone. That was close. No. On earth did my suitcase go? Uh-oh. This is getting very interesting. Looks to be that Saxon guy could be the guy. But where is he then? Thaddeus Saxon. This is getting very interesting, people. I'm wondering very much. Ooh, Carter and Arthur's here. I'll enter this conversation now. Time to listen in. Arthur, there is something I must tell you. Yes, how may I be of assistance? Oh, I don't know where to start, Arthur. I am so very sorry. Terrible man. What brought this about? I am the one who stole the missing bottle of wine. You what? You see, I'm not that wealthy, and I so badly want to arrest others. I instantly regretted my action, and I am going to pay the penalty. It better be. To steal from the kitchen of Arthur Darcy is much more than a theft. It is an insult. I realize that, but first, to re-immerse you there. That's double the price of the wine. Now, any way I can. My word, do you have no concept of honor? You steal my wine, insult me, and then you believe you can clear your name by paying me? Bribes! Bribes! Is it doubly insulting? You even made a complete mess of my kitchen. How humiliating. I assure you, I did not touch anything else in the kitchen. It was in disarray when I arrived. Wait, just one more. When did you take the wine? Not long before 1. Why? This could be the key detail Alice was searching for. You see, I always leave the kitchen in absolute impeccable order. Alice and I returned at the 2:15. This was an absolute mess. If what you say is true, then someone else must have been in the kitchen between midnight and 1. Hang a bottle stretch 9. I'm assuming you're telling the truth for once. Well, as you may recall, you passed by my carriage at midnight. The reason I acted so nice was because I was just about to head to the kitchen. Olivia saw me for return with the wine at 1. Klaus took me leave. Nothing escapes his ears, it seems. Oh, don't get me started. I've served that man more drinks than I care to share. Ordered a few rounds at 11:30. Now that you mention it, Klaus was still in the dining carriage when I closed the kitchen and headed for bed. Stuck in the kitchen while we were having our chat. That's rather strange. Anyway, why did you steal the same exact wine that Magnus ordered? In the dining hall when he ordered his bottle at 11, so I'm sure you overheard. Yes, I did. I figured that if he enjoyed that brand, I thought I would be familiar with it. Sebastiani's fine Italian Pinot Grigio. Such a strange and strangely expensive wine. Well, since you reimbursed me and gave me some important information, I will let this whole matter slide. Better judgment in the future, lad. Don't worry, I've learned my lesson. Good, now get out of here before I change my mind. Ooh, it's looking like it's Klaus. Well, seems all that leaves is Klaus again. Let's see, let's enter Klaus's room once more. Nothing. Great. Let's go to the recreation again and see who's there. Olivia's here, Jeffrey Chambers Sr., Catherine Chamberlain, Jeff Charles Jr., Thomas Carter, Klaus, Arthur, Alice, and John. Sorry, once here again for the grand. Nearing its end, now everybody's gathered in their recreation carriage, prepared to disembark. This is your last chance to communicate with the passengers and staff. Okay, with police, you would like to know the others' thoughts regarding how. I don't know, maybe my father was murdered after all. What if he once then had to have been with that waitress? She must have poisoned the wine before delivering it to father's room. Magnus had his fair share of enemies, but I believe this was racist. I bet it was that classmate's check all along. It was all that communist over there. How can anyone doubt it? Just look at his guilty face. It was that bloody Thomas Carter. It's always bloody Thomas Carter the dog. I've given it a great deal of thought. I found the baggage vote to be the most suspicious. I bet he murdered Mr. Magnus while Max turned and used Dis-Orient's position to get away with it. I'll say that Kepler's pig finally saw the light and killed himself. He was murdered by his business partner. Of course, he had the best motive, so... Well, then it's so that any of the rest of us... I don't know. I've failed to be a proper detective, my little gray cells. I did the title. I have no idea who did it. Since Alice failed to find a criminal, I'd say the old man died of heart failure. Well, the train has arrived at the station. As soon as the station staff realized what happened, you were approached by an officer and asked what you know. I say, Klaus did it. Alright, what sort of evidence? Dang it. Well, guys, that was Murder on the Dis-Orient Express, and as you guys can tell, I failed, obviously. So it was not Klaus, obviously, so it still leaves everybody else on the train. My only other guess was it was Carter, but I don't know, so that's all I can say. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.